Hey guys, my name's JP, and this is our first official episode of Stream Tycoon, a new channel that we've created to help you learn how to stream. You know, everything from branding through the tech you use, through to building up some followers and a base, and what sort of games to stream, what to do in real life, all that sort of good fun stuff. So we're going to chat through today a little bit about why we came up with the name Stream Tycoon, and we're also going to do a bit of a live kind of hands-on and show you how you can build your brand in a few minutes flat using Canva. Let's go. All right, so you've just seen the branding. So that's our first time we've kind of put it out there, but we're going to build it from scratch for you on Canva, and you'll see how easy it is and how simple it is to do something like that. So we come up with the name Stream Tycoon for two reasons. So we want to have a blend of formal and fun, because that's really what streaming is about, right? Like it's a good time. It's something anyone gets into because they're super passionate about it and they want to have fun doing it, and that's what the audience wants to see. But at the same time, it can be a bit of a serious type of business. So getting that name, that branding right between the fun and the formal is really important. So we think the name Stream Tycoon does that. Stream as a name is great because it just tells people instantly what it's about. And streaming is something that's just really taken off in the last 12 months. In 2020 in particular, with everyone spending more time at home, you know, there's a lot more competition than ever before. So you really need to kind of create something that's going to give you an edge. So the name and your branding makes it feel like more of a serious endeavor. It makes it feel something bigger than it is and helps you to stand out from other people in this space as well. So the word stream is important because it just tells people instantly what it's about. And we really love the word tycoon. So it's a term used a lot in gaming, a lot of games like Zoo Tycoon or Roller Coaster Tycoon, for example. But tycoon is really about kind of building an empire and building up a base, and that's really what we want to do and help you to do as the viewer as well. So we think the name's great. And one thing to do when you're coming up with a name is make sure you jump online, check Instagram, check Twitch, check YouTube, check Facebook, and make sure no one else is using that name. So you want to have something unique or something that you can, you know, you don't need to compromise too much in terms of what you're calling it when you're showing up on these platforms. But ideally you have a name that hasn't been used before that you can just put out there into the world, and you can really own that name on every kind of major platform. So Canva, why Canva? I mean, there's a bunch of free tools out there you can use. We think Canva is one of the best. It's simple. You don't need to have any formal design experience. You can dive in and kind of get stuff done pretty easily once you know how. And if you do want to pay for a subscription, it's pretty cheap, and it gives you access to the brand kit, and it gives you access to a bunch of pro features as well. So I thought we would pull up Canva and have a quick look. Oh no. This is where it all comes undone. I'll make sure we're logged in first. Here we go. There we go. So into Canva. Right. So there's a lot you can do in Canva if you're not familiar with it. You can create, so if we just go back one for a second, go to home. You can create a lot of different designs. So anything from social media posts to marketing to YouTube intro channels, videos, you name it. There's just so much you can do here. Posters, documents, flyers, invitations, you name it. It's awesome. So what we're going to do is jump straight into logos. So you can do one of two things. You can either jump here into templates and look at logos. It's important you find something you can use as a base. So think about the sort of style you want, or just browse through, choose something you like, use that as a base, and you can kind of edit the colors and the language and imagery and add bits to it over time. So we go down here and you can see there's so many different options. You can also search by category. So if you want to define something specifically in the games and recreation space, you can jump down here, you can start a new one from scratch, or you can use one of these templates to start off with. Now, what I'm looking for specifically is an animated logo, because I want to use it on YouTube and video content. So I think an animated logo is super important. So I'm actually just going to go to this search bar at the top and type in animated logo, and we'll see what comes up. And you can see down here, if you just hover your mouse over, it will actually sort of play the animation. And there's a bunch of different options here, all with kind of little effects and subtle without being too much or too in your face. So there's heaps here, so you can go through and choose one. Now, what we want is something that's got that balance of kind of formal and fun, and I think has a bit of attitude as well. And this is a free, you can see down here in the bottom right, this is a free logo we can use as a base template. So I'm just going to click on that, bring that up, and then we can use that to start our design. So use this template. Great. Now, the other thing I'm going to do first up is just resize this. I want to be working in a format that's really built for YouTube and video. So 16 by 9 or 1920 by 1080 sort of style is going to work best for me. So there you go. You can see that's just resized it automatically, and that's another great feature of Canva. If I just drag my mouse, I do want this logo mark to be a little bit larger in the frame. I want to have something that feels confident, has a good presence. So we can just drag this over to here, and you can see those pink lines. That's going to help you to kind of line things up perfectly. And then we're just going to type our name in. So I'm doing this on an iPad, which you can probably tell. So it's pretty simple. So stream, we tap on the other box, Tycoon. Done. How easy was that? Now, the other thing I want to do with the text is change the color, and I've been thinking about this a bit, but I think purple is the right color to own. You know, Twitch is probably the biggest name in streaming, so I think having a color that people naturally associate with streaming is really important. It just helps that brand recall and recognition. So I'm going to change this to purple, which I've done there. So you can see you just tap on the text. Up the top, you have this little menu bar that appears, and you can choose your color and go from there. So that's really great. So this is starting to come together, but you know, it is a video, so if I play it, I'll just play it quickly, you'll see how it looks. And the background will start moving in a moment. Looks like it hasn't quite rendered properly. Yeah, it's pretty subtle. It's not really very interesting. So what I can do, if I can tap up here, I can actually add some subtle animations. So everything from like a neon flash through to a stomp, which is pretty wild. But I just want something subtle. It doesn't need to be too crazy. I kind of like this breathing effect, is really nice. So I'm just going to put that on there. Great. Now, I don't like this background. It's not bad. It's simple. It's minimalist. But I think we can probably do something a bit different that feels a bit more like, this kind of really anchors it in this streaming world. So I'm going to, you can just come in here and just search whatever you like, but I'm going to search video camera. Video camera might be better. And you can see all this kind of beautiful imagery just pops up straight away. Again, if you hover the mouse over it, you can get a bit of a sneak preview. So I could quite easily go with something like this. And if I just click it, it'll add it to the frame. Can resize it quite easily. Remember, I'm doing all this on an iPad, which is quite remarkable. It's great when it works, not so great when it doesn't. There we go. So I've just added that here. So if I want to play that, I can just get a little sense as to how that looks. Yeah, nice. So one thing this is doing, it is just clashing a little bit. The logo and the image are kind of fighting with each other, and you can't quite read it. It's not quite legible. So one thing I like to do is I just come down here to background. You add a black background behind everything. So that'll just change the whole background to black. And if you go back to video, and this is a little hack, and re-add the video, which we're doing just here, it'll actually have a background underneath, which is black, and it will also have the video on top. Now, if I click this transparency gradient here, I can actually just dial back the level at which that video file is coming through, and it just gives a bit of separation. You can see now it's much more legible. So when I do play this, you can see that it's easy to read. You can still see the image coming through in the background. Actually, it looks really beautiful. Now, one thing I want to do, you can see at the top here, it's actually 23 seconds long, which is way too long. So I want to just bring down the size of it a little bit. So I can just tap here and drag it down, or I could just type in this box. I mean, 7 seconds is generally quite optimal for logos. So I might just go with that for now. And you'll see now when I play in full screen, it should be over in 7 seconds. Let's just clip that file, which is really nice. So that's working really well. It might even be better than the one that I used at the start of this video. So that's great. Pretty happy with that. Now, with a premium subscription, you can go and add some music. So stuff like this is pretty cool. Elastic thrust. So you can just kind of play, have a bit of a listen, see if you like it. That's kind of cool. So I might just add that to the clip now. And if I want to adjust the position of that music, once that's added in, I can just drag this along to anywhere in the frame. So I could have it from here, for example. Great. Now there's one other thing I want to add before I download this and put it on the channel. If I come into elements, I want people to know that this is, where they can get access to it. So if they see a video on YouTube, I want to know that they can find me on Twitch and they can find me in other places too. So I can come in here and just search for any elements that I want to add actually. So I've recently done this. So let's add a Twitch logo. That's great. So you can see we're using a similar kind of purple. We'll just resize that down a little bit. We'll also add a YouTube logo, which is great. So that's come up in black by default. What I can do here is just change the color of that to purple. I'll make this the same purple as well. So when we resize that down, and again, you see those pink lines, we're just lining up with the other images on the other side. Then we might add a Twitter logo. We'll change this to purple as well. I think just keeping your color palette quite limited, just going to give you a more premium look overall. So we will be on Twitter. And the last place we're going to be is Facebook gaming. So let's see if we can find this. We might have to search this one. Facebook gaming. Yep. So here's the Facebook gaming logos. You can see them loading up very slowly on the other side. Yep, that one's perfect. And then I can change the color again, put that in purple. Drop this down here. So we've now got Twitch, Twitter, Facebook gaming, and YouTube. And look at that. So if we play that now with the music and everything together, see one thing's happening here with that fade in effect, that breathing effect that we have, everything's coming on differently, slightly different timings. So we can actually fix that just by grouping everything. We might actually just add a subscribe button as well. Yeah, we've got a recently used. Yeah, so this one's perfect because we can change the color, put that in purple. We'll put that front and center underneath. Yeah, and then we can just drag a box around all of these. No, too many. And actually just group them together. A simple right click. So now when they play, they should all come on at the same time rather than separately. And there you go. In a few minutes flat, we've built a brand logo. We've created a YouTube intro. We've found a kind of really cool, unique style and look for it. And we've let people know as well where you can find us. So tick, 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 1, 2, 3. And if you want to download this, you just tap the download button here, MP4, high quality. You do need to connect your social account so you don't get a copyright flag. That's important. Tap download, it'll render it out, and away you go. So that's been our first episode. You've just seen us build the Stream Tycoon brand and show you how you can do it on Canva. You obviously do need the Pro membership to be able to access some of that, those different imageries and video backgrounds and those sorts of things, but you can do something quite nice for free using the free version of it as well. This has been JP. Let me know in the comments below. If you need any help putting your brand together, don't hesitate to reach out. Peace and love to you all.